Stop searching when you have been favored by God to have someone God wants for you. There is only one reason you may not know that God has provided the one for you, is because you may have not trusted God enough to give you that real person that will love you so much and give you all that you wanted. It is God's pleasure that you should be blessed. It is God's intentions that you receive the blessings of love, someone that will show you the real love experience. Thanks what God wants for you, because there are lots of people that could say the words, "I love you." Every human being has learned to master that line and the application of the words. They will tell you everything you may want to hear, but they may not mean it. They have all the interesting words that will twinkle your fantasies, that will make you think you have got the real person, but from the real sense of reality, they are far from whom God has wanted for you. You must be careful to do things that only God can do for you. You must take caution on the way you source for things you can only get from the Lord alone. The blessings only comes from the Lord. You don't have to keep search. You around you. Be careful to relate with the atmosphere that God has created around you, and you will see that God has given you someone that is perfect for you. You will see that God has blessed you already with love. You cannot get love from the devil. Neither will love and the better person for you come from the world. You have these things in God, because it is stocked up in Him alone. The person you have from the devil is the person that will fulfill the purpose of the devil on your life. The devil will give you someone that will take you outside the love of God and put you into the love of the world. But when you have the person that God has brought and provided for you, then you will see how amazing it is going to be for you, that you will not have to lose your focus and your dream because you are with someone. Rather, the person will help you build a relationship that will fulfill the purpose of the Lord in your life. Open your eyes and virtualize the presence of the one you want. Open your heart and relate from within the person God has blessed you with. Let your soul connect. Abraham, as a man of faith, knew the implications of searching when God has already provided the best for Isaac. Then he pleaded with his servant to make sure he goes to his own people to get a wife for his Isaac. Genesis 24:1. Now Abraham was old, well advanced in years, and the Lord had blessed Abraham in all things. 2. And Abraham said to the eldest servant of his house, Eliezer of Damascus, who ruled over all that he had, I beg of you, put your hand under my thigh, and you shall swear by the Lord, the God of heaven and earth, that you will not take a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites, among whom I have settled. 4. But you shall go to my country and to my relatives and take a wife for my son Isaac. 5. The servant said to him, But perhaps the woman will not be willing to come along after me to this country. Must I take your son to the country from which you came? 14. And let it so be that the girl to whom I say, I pray you, let down your jar that I may drink. And she replies, Drink. I will give your camels drink also. Let her be the one whom you have selected and appointed and indicated for your servant Isaac, to be a wife to him. And by it I shall know that you have shown kindness and faithfulness to my master. 15. Before he had finished speaking, behold, out come Rebekah, who was the daughter of Bethuel, son of Milcah, who was the wife of Nahor, the brother of Abraham, with her water jar on her shoulder. 16. And the girl was very beautiful and attractive, chaste and modest, and unmarried. And she went down to the well, filled her water jar, and came up. 17. And the servant ran to meet her, and said, I pray you, let me drink a little water from your water jar. 18. And she said, Drink, my lord. And she quickly let down her jar onto her hand, and gave him a drink. 19. When she had given him a drink, she said, I will draw water for your camels also, until they finish drinking. 20. So she quickly emptied her jar into the trough, and ran again to the well, and drew water for all his camels. You have struggled over the same issue, because you have not opened yourself up. You have only shut yourself out. You cannot get it done like that. You cannot make good identification of that person. There is always a divine purpose for that move God is making in your life. Abraham understood the purpose of God. He knows God has a plan and a covenant with him. So he has to continue to follow the Lord even through the person he finds for his son to marry. Marriage is one reason of someone's life God works through to give you the promises he had for you. Abraham needed this. That is the reason he figured the provision of God in that wife that God has provided for him. Do you not know that if God wants to bless you, he will provide everything that you will need to receive the blessings? From the human resources to the material and intellectual resources. Many people will try to come. Many factors may come up, but you have to be rest assured that you do not need to keep search because God has provided it for you. God has created the person for you that you will not have to keep searching for the person again. The big question is this: how do you know this? How do you come into this reality? How do you have to get to know that which God has provided for you? You cannot tap into the secret things of the Lord if you do not have a relationship with God. This is the person God has provided for you, is a gift from the Lord to you. You cannot access this gift of you. Do not have a connecting point with the Lord, because it is the Lord that will direct your path. It is the Lord that will show you the light and instruct you to do this and not to do that. Everything is on God to do for you, but you have to make yourself available for you to see and get the blessings of the Lord for your life. Now ask yourself, how will you know what God is saying if you do not keep your relationship with God cool? If you are not in a very good intimacy with the Lord, how will you know His intentions for you? How will you hear it when God says, that is the person? How will you identify the person if God is trying to show you the person? You must allow God to show you the person He has prepared for you.